Poltergeist is the 1982 American supernatural horror film directed by Tobe Hooper, from a story by Steven Spielberg. It stars JoBeth Williams, Greg T. Nelson, Heather O'Rourke, Dominic Dunn, Oliver Robbins, Zelda Rubinstein, and Beatrice Straight. It was produced by Spielberg and Frank Marshall. The film focuses on a family, the Freelings, who live in a peaceful suburban community of Crest Verde, California. Stephen, played by Nelson, is a real estate agent, and Diane, played by Williams, is a stay-at-home mom with her kids, 16-year-old Dana, 8-year-old Robbie, and 5-year-old Carol Ann. One night, Carol Ann talks to the television set while a ghostly white hand emerges, following a violent earthquake. When the family is awakened from the quake, Carol Ann looks at her parents and delivers this famous line.
They're here.
Throughout the days of the week, Diane plays with the friendly spirits, but soon they grow more frightening and intense. During one night of a terrible storm, the ghosts attack the kids and kidnap Carol Ann through the closet. Now the Freelings must do anything to get her back, including hiring a spiritual medium, Tangina, played by Rubinstein, and a few of parasitologists. This is a classic ghost story. It has everything. Frightening scenes that live in my head rent-free. Like this scene, or this, or even this. Oh yeah, and those are real corpses, by the way. After shooting the pool scene in the movie, JoBeth Williams later found out the skeletons in the swimming pool in the mud were real. It was cheaper to buy them from a medical supply company than making them out of rubber at that time. Just look at her face, pure frightening reaction. Jerry Goldsmith composed the score, which was done incredibly good. I love Goldsmith. Great horror film to watch for Halloween. Poltergeist 2: The Other Side is a 1986 American supernatural horror film directed by Brian Gibson. JoBeth Williams, Greg T. Nelson, Oliver Robbins, Heather O'Rourke, and Zelda Rubinstein reprised their roles from the first film. New cast members include Will Sampson, Julian Beck, and Geraldine Fitzgerald. It follows the Freeling family once again find themselves under attack from the supernatural forces led by the Beast, revealed to be the spirit of insane preacher Henry Kane, played by Beck, who led an apocalyptic cult during the 19th century, attempting to claim their daughter. In an effort to save their daughter, the family finds help in a Native American shaman, Taylor, played by Sampson. Just like the first Poltergeist movie, this is great. It's fun, intense, and creepier than the first one. Remember that face-raping scene? Well, take a look at this.
What is it? What is it, Steven? What is it?
Yep, the most goriest scene I ever saw in this film, and it's great. The main villain Kane is creepy, as well as Beck, who portrayed him perfectly. This is a definite on your Poltergeist binge watch. Poltergeist 3 is a 1988 American supernatural horror film co-written and directed by Gary Sherman, and starring Tom Skerritt, Nancy Allen, Heather O'Rourke, and Zelda Rubinstein, with the latter two reprising roles from the previous films. The third and final entry in the original Poltergeist film series, it follows a young Carol Ann Freeling who is terrorized by malicious spirits while staying at her aunt and uncle's apartment in John Hancock Center in Chicago. I remember watching a specific scene in this film. I like the first two, it creeped the bejesus out of me. I like how the film takes place in an apartment tower rather than a suburban home. Heather O'Rourke is great in this. Sadly, she died 4 months before the release at the age of 12. Her death resulted in marketing complications for the film studio MGM, who did not want to exploit the tragedy. As 3 other cast members who also passed away, Dominic Dunn, who played Dana, Will Sampson, who played Taylor, and Julian Beck, who played Reverend Kane, the media dubbed the franchise the Poltergeist Curse, in which they thought it was because of the franchise genre of Death and Afterlife. Overall, great film to end the original franchise. Poltergeist is a 2015 American supernatural horror film directed by Gil Kennan, written by David Lindsay Abaire, and produced by Sam Raimi, Robert Tappert, and Roy Lee. It is a remake of the 1982 film of the same name, and the 4th installment in the overall Poltergeist franchise. The film stars Sam Rockwell, Rosemarie DeWitt, Jared Harris, and Jane Adams, and follows a family who arrived at a new home and began experiencing paranormal occurrences. When I heard that they're remaking a classic horror film, I was doubting it. With horrible remakes I've seen in the last few years, I tried to stay away from this. Until I got it on Disney Plus, and I gotta say, it's still terrifying. Yeah, it's not like the original, in which nothing beats original films, but it's great in a different way. First, the family's last name was changed from the Freelings to the Bowens. Second, Tangina was an awesome character, but now the medium is a social media icon, Kerrigan Burke, played by Harris. Third, the film has an excessive jump scares, in which that's all you see in the modern horror now. And finally, you don't really see the other dimension in the afterlife in the previous films. In this one, you get a POV flying through of this dimension, and it's creepy. Another creepy thing about this film was the clown doll. Sure, the original is what scared us all back in the day, but this one is just as creepy. Good movie, but not as strong as the first three.